Big opportunity for Jae Skeese. He's part of Conway's drum work label that he's been building up the last couple of years. And he's really earned a spot here, especially what he accomplished last year. He had a really solid collaboration project with Big Ghost, which is a stamp of approval in and of itself because Ghost only worked with fire spitters. I think he's really elevated himself as a lyricist and he's really crafty with how he punches. Conway's my favorite emo gangster. His God Don't Make Mistakes last year was like the epitomization of When Thugs Cry. Despite dropping 3 projects last year, I feel like we haven't heard from him in a while. Him and Skeese seem like they got a lot of chemistry going based on their features on each other's projects. It's apparent that even though Conway's a more established name here, I think Jae Skeese can hang with him. We finna find out. Let's get to it. It gotta be a grimy beat.
Look, we landsliding. It's drum work, bitch, we landsliding. My man sliding like doors on the caravan.
These drums sound hard.
Digging in that pot.
Sliding like doors on a caravan. That's tough opener.
He itching to catch a damn body.
Grimy out the gate.
St. Patrick's Day 1 lows. I sham rocked it. Yes, I copped it. My sneaker
Nigga, what? St. Patrick Day lows, the shoe I shamrocked it. I rocked the shoes, but they St. Patrick Day, so they got the shamrock. That's hard.
The easy ones, I copped the 10 option.
He playing off Conway's rhyme scheme. So both of them have already rapped at this point, and there's only been 1 rhyme scheme so far. That's tough.
1 bracelet is 2 artists' advances on my sleeve. I'm fresher than patent leather shining. I rock the C's. Retro 4s with the S on the tongue. Christopher Reeves. I killed
Talk
them
that
all,
sneaker
they
talk.
red like the Cali 3s. My short beat like the Kobe 9's a masterpiece.
That's fire. All those are sneaker bars, but the last 2 lines, he used the sneakers as a punch. Red like the Cali. Come on, man.
Shout out my brother Skeese. He threw them to me like breeze. I rock the black strings in my Chicago
Saints.
SBs. Suede all over my up-tempo 33s.
This nigga got StockX in his closet.
100 bands on the band, my wrist dancing like it's Usher.
Oh, I like this rhyme scheme.
Force my hand and I'ma touch
It's a sick flow. Look, it's gonna be hard to go wrong when you got 2 fire spitters going back and forth. They opened it on 10. Conway had that slide like the caravan door line out the gate. He used this 3-syllable rhyme scheme, and then Jae Skeese picked up with the same rhyme scheme. That shamrock line, hard from Jae Skeese. Skeese also had like the most vivid sneaker bars I ever heard in my life. If this rap thing don't work out, you know, there's a power vacuum in Adidas right now. They might need his sneaker knowledge. I like how Conway switched back and forth. He started with the grimy talk. He played in a Jae Skeese hand when he talked about the sneakers too, and then he ended it with a couple more grimy bars. That's a hard song. I like how grimy the beat was. I think the melody had a pretty basic sample, but I like how understated those drums were. They had some kind of processing on them that I really like the effect of. Solid beat, but fire lyricism. I think that's a 6 song. This is Metallic 5s. Yeah, I like the muffled drums on here too.
Truth, they try to spin it. Lie, they love you like a hero. Tell the truth, you be a villain. Play my new shit in the office. Blow the roof from off the building. Anytime I drop some new shit means I'm due to make a killing.
Floating. Hey, he floating right there. Hey, Conway always been a spitter, but these last few years, he stepped it up with how intricate he can get. If you listen to his like 2017, 2018 catalog, he can play with the syllables, but normally he'll have this 1 3-syllable rhyme scheme. He'll use that 3-syllable at the internal and use it at the end of the line. But here he's playing with this new sound. It's like an alliteration, and he has this new-ish internal rhyme scheme. Then he got the building rhyme scheme at the end of the bar. That's some crafty stuff.
And we leave evidence, a trail of niggas blood on the floor, a couple set of prints, I'm heaven sent, God of the grimy, this the New Testament.
Yo, that's a slanted 5-syllable right there. Rhyming, dog.
I'm crossing borderlines, rocking metallic Jordan 5s. Meteorics, how I describe my sort of rise. That's from
this is a fire rhyme scheme too.
Neanderthals in prehistoric times, so hot.
Creating fires like Neanderthal. I like that punch.
350s like back to school season, nigga. I bought supplies. When I say I'm talking North of 9, that broke shit was torture like the waterboarding kind. I drowned it out in drum work. That's what the sound of.
Oh, it was torture. He drowned it out. That's fire. Little subtle wordplay, but that's tough.
These verses, it's those shots, they leave you scattered, brain disorganized with shorter lives. The impact,
Yo.
like haymakers, I'm making top and bottom jaws divide. The separation of Jordan mids and Jordan highs. I swear to God, this where we draw the.
Bro, he's punching. He said he throwing haymakers, it'll separate your jaw. The separation is like the difference between Jordan lows and Jordan 5s, or he said Jordan mids, whatever.
These sentences is infinite, like limits on them black cards. Two of the illest that large. Machine and skis, if we speak it, you must respect it as law.
Alright, 2 songs, it sound like a sick pairing. Once again, rapping to start a show right here. I thought the beat was cool. Drums sound good, it's just these samples, they're fine. They're not crazy, not mind-blowing. They're good enough to give it a grimy feel. But dog, the rapping, Conway with his intricacies, the lyricism from him was on point. That said, I think Jae Skeese had a better verse. His lyricism wasn't quite at the level that Conway's was. But dog, the way he was punching, that waterboard drowned it out line was super witty. That separation line's tough. I'm telling you, man, Skeese can go toe-to-toe with Conway. He's sounding hungry right now. This is Stefon Diggs too. A texture, sample, watery keys.
I was fighting open cases. Now I'm doing shows and getting bags way out in Copenhagen. They give me my roses when I go on stages, and they barely spoke the language.
Rapid fire, back to back, 4-syllable rhyme scheme.
Bottle girl, come open cases. Protects with the frozen faces. You can ask bro, I so yay. Stand at the
Hard
stove
rhyme
with the
scheme
half the
still.
soda. You know I'm gonna make it blow up. It's multiplication. Hold up. If you want something,
The cadence on them last couple of lines, the flow is sick.
take it. They lied when they told you be patient. That's why when you focus, you dangerous.
And then he's rhyming almost every single syllable. He has a 3-syllable internal at the beginning of the bar, and then he got a 5-syllable, slanted 5-syllable at the end of the bar. But like with his cadence, he's having all the rhyme schemes line up at the exact same point in every single line. Fire.
I've acquired everything that I desired twice. They told me sky's the limit, but I went higher. Like my story is. They say my city's like a war capital. I rose above, I'm thinking more capital, more capital, more capital. Etched it in my brain in all capitals. Niggas here will try Warren Sappy. You broken clavicles, run style. Evade the rest. This is all finesse, smooth as a bottle with a rum sour.
Them last 3-ish lines, they all played into the Warren Sapp bar. He was talking about the finesse move, run stopping. I see the wordplay.
Had just incredible, asking who you bring the leakers. Sick to seeking when I reach a speaker. Fresher than a pair of Easter sneakers. Something that you never heard before.
Alright, I can rock with it. Conway came with his fresh out of therapy bars. Content-wise, he wasn't saying nothing mind-blowing, but from a lyrical, technical perspective, he was on one. He got his lick back from Immaculate 5 because he had the better verse between him and Skeese. Skeese had a pretty good verse. He got into a different flow, almost double time. His content kind of mirrored Conway's. He didn't have the punches that he had in the first 2 songs, but I think he still came with a pretty good verse. I think the beat was cool. They had a textured sample. Still, the samples aren't blowing me away, especially if you compare them to like the dudes who Conway and Jae Skeese have worked with recently. Big Ghost for Skeese and for Conway, and then the Derringer production and Beat Butcher on Conway's last couple of projects. I'm not sure who these producers are here, but the beats are fine. That one was solid. This is La Chop.
It's kind of young revolver. I set it off like Cleo. We got them hyped like the adrenal gland. My mind expands. Then what come from my hand and get lethal.
Keep them high like adrenal glands. I rock with that. Hey, and speaking of adrenal glands, my third eye was not open because I was not expecting these niggas to come with the motivational bars. Hold on, that's not adrenal gland. That's pineal gland. I'm tripping. Yo, my third eye is closed. Adrenal gland is something different. What is an adrenal gland? Scratch out that dog.
Injection with needle. See, this is real. I got no plans to deceive you.
All right, the Google say adrenal gland have to do with the kidneys. Okay, so that injection line plays into that. All right, we brought it back.
Chase, I paid my man lawyer. He called another case. I just want another.
They sound good when they back and forth.
My mantle for no trophy shit. I'm running out of fucking space. It be the ops, stay resilient. Can't be letting battles defeat you. I had situations that left me even sicker than the man with the measles. It's lessons in everything, long as you let.
Jae Skeese, you are above that. You can't punch like how you was punching on them first 2 songs and then say sicker than a man with the measles.
This is real, I don't plan to deceive you. Hold up.
I like how they both playing into that this is real, I ain't here to deceive you motif at the end of their verses.
I've seen so many things that made me cry, but still I'm smiling. My daughter bright as dawn, I want to drape her in some diamonds.
Hey, he really enunciated that. Hey, the diamonds.
Wick cereal was corn checks and King vitamins. I grew to be the man I want to ride, yeah. I'm a ride, yeah. I'm a ride.
This chorus sounds stupid, I ain't gonna lie. I ain't know he was getting cocaine Tony Robbins on him. I like that he went a positive route. The only issue is he's not saying anything like thought-provoking. It's not standard for Conway, but if you listen to any kind of semi-conscious rapper, they're gonna be saying similar stuff. The good part though is the lyricism make it enjoyable. I think Conway sounds a little bit more comfortable with this. I think with Skeese, if he's gonna be on this gym dropping tip, positive message tip, he don't need to abandon the punches because his lyricism ain't quite as high as a level as Conway's is as far as the rhyme schemes and syllables. But his back-to-back punching was elevating his verses in the beginning of the album. But pretty good song. It's like an Eric Thomas dabbled in the streets a little bit more. Could have did without that chorus though. Okay beat. This is Immaculate Reception.
I'm in the game now. They watch my position like draft analyst. My stock's rising.
Watch my position like draft analyst. Come on, man. Bring the punches back.
I gave a fuck at one point, but now I'm honestly abstinent. Cause if you break it down in totality within
Gave it F abstinent. I see it.
Nobody snapping harder since Little John with this rapping shit. Look, the rappers level just like
that Little John line is hard.
My impact is snapping brick in half as quick as seconds on a chronograph can tick. Brick by brick, I built myself here a motherfucking establishment. Look, this here is high grade, all gas,
break a brick line to the brick by brick line.
But the reception is immaculate. And now my craft is serve me papers like I got subpoenaed. Yeah, I mean this shit is like I got subpoenaed. I stayed
craft
down,
serving paper like I got subpoenaed. I like that. Alright, that song was alright. The weird part about these last two songs is there's nothing that's like particularly bad about them, but they okaying me to death. Jae Skeese definitely started out really strong with the punches at the beginning of this verse. I think he lost steam as he started focusing more on the content than the punching. The punching is really carrying his best verses. So when he gets away from that, it's not quite as good. It's not bad, he just ain't playing to his strengths. The beat was alright too. I like how the drums sound again, but from track 1 all the way to 5, all these drums sounded really similar. So it sounded a little bit one-dimensional, and it doesn't help that all these samples that they used, or I don't even know if it was a sample, but this little guitar loop that they had on this song, it's pretty basic. It kind of shows you that it's an art to minimalist beats, because even though it might not be the busiest samples in the world, and it might not have a lot of different elements, there's something about picking a captivating sample, and they just not hitting me with it on this album so far. You got that feel that you're doing everything right, but it's missing that it factor. It's cool, but you don't really want too many that's cools in a row. I think they're capable of picking it up a little bit on this next song, Promise. Well, they're not picking it up with the beat.
I be trying to stay away from these niggas, reason I'm distant. You can win rings with these niggas, they speaking on you like Pippin. That's fucked up, homie. But honestly, this shit never offended me, not at all. Cause I can't let people fuck up my energy. Kept my drive when my homies dozed off, hard to go.
Bro, they can keep these choruses,
Stop expecting them to see from my perspective. But lower class, I never see myself choosing like an elective. In this game of life, you see we all are
lower class playing to choose like elective bar. The punching is there, man.
In either way, we all return to the essence. So going against the rules that was set for us was always part of my message. I'd rather that than be unfulfilled, stuck on antidepressants.
God dang, these some of the safest Conway songs I've heard. It's almost to the point where you don't want a whole bunch of pretty good songs. You rather just like swing and have ups and downs, but the rapping is really straightforward, and even though they're technically sound, it's only so far that just lyricism can take you. It's novel to hear Conway in his motivational bag, but like you gotta say something thought-provoking or something that moves people. But even in this lane of hip-hop, there's plenty of people who will rap a positive message or at the very least drop these gems without the creativity and the punching and thought-provoking bars taking a back seat. Shay Noir, Ransom does it, Riggs does a good job of it. Then it don't help that these beats a little bit mid. I think this is probably the worst beat on the album. I ain't really like those strings that was prominent in the samples. The drums here didn't sound as good as they did on the other 5 songs on this album. Jae Skeese will throw a punch in every now and then that'll wake me up, but I don't think it's enough to carry every single song. Also, like, the choruses are supposed to be catchy. They can keep these choruses. Let's close this thing out with Food. That's probably the best beat since, like, Metallic Vibes. I like this sample, or this loop rather.
When I put to fire, a blunt that hit had my pride, it twisted my mind up, but we don't let that shit define us, nor do.
That's a cool little weed scheme to open it up. The blunt, twisted, weed, tie-ins to bring everything together.
Cause they ain't let us have this aesthetic, now don't forget it. We do what hella heaven, I'm threatened, they feel the pressure. fresh from snaring a kick, make come bearing a stick, get done, carried and dead beat.
Love the Genius normally come with crazy flows. I kind of like this one, but the one before that, I don't think she was showing off her talent enough.
I'm eating like it's open concessions, coldest aesthetics. Popping out with green and gold on me like Oakland Athletics. I wrote and spoke an open infection. It exposed to jokes who won't be named like origami cranes. I folded deception.
If I hear one more origami fold flip, I don't feel the flip.
But don't smoke in no sessions. Yo, shorty nice 5,000.
I like his rhyme scheme right here.
Corrections. She heard the flows, I kick his shows, and now she coming out of wardrobes and exposing the breasts. I'm seeking growth when I'm pinning.
He playing with
But
this
as a
old
teen, I
sound.
was the type to pull the polls, just like the votes in elections.
Pull the polls like the votes in the election, you pull the votes. Come on.
Ain't no more knives in my hand.
Bro,
This
who
chopper's
uncle
on
is
demand.
this?
You fool, nigga, get out my way. Niggas is fool, nigga, get out my way. Here to chop your hand off, you on my play. Ain't no more.
Nigga, how did that verse make the album?
I eat the pussy, I'm just quenching my thirst. I finish this verse while falling from the sky, visiting Earth. The nigga would work, just look at the numbers I did on the first. It didn't occur that one day I will be the illest on Earth.
Alright, the flow
Nigga
switch
murk,
up.
Nothing on my face resemble a smirk. I know the men in the trenches that spinning and they do the militant work.
Playing with that it sound, plus the cadence, plus the 4-syllable rhyme scheme at the end. I like this.
I had on that cinnamon fur. The cinnamon Timberlands, my night Eminem work. Before I ever got that Eminem verse. My bitch keep an FN in a purse.
From Bodymore, it ain't a safe town. No matter where you go, you hear them same sound. Might get a straight round from that Trey Pound. I should be at the pulpit, but I'm outside on bullshit.
Hey, I've been complaining about the beats, but that's how you waste one, dog. I was probably the most interesting loop since either Metallic Files or Cocaine Paste. Still sound a little one-dimensional with similar drums as 5 of the 7 songs here. But compared to the other songs on the album, I thought that beat was pretty solid. Conway had the best verse here by far. He got into a different bag with his flows. He also just sound more comfortable getting into his street talk than he did with the self-help for shooters bag he was in. Jae Skeese was decent, but then all 3 features, nah. Love the Genius. I expected a lot from her. That's kind of the problem with her projects to me. She'll flash like a lot of talent, but then she'll have some iffy, not that great verses. Her thing is just going to be consistency. If she can do a full project with her best work, like take her verse off of that Chez Noir project that just came out, she'll drop something special. But yeah, this one right here wasn't it. The flows, and she can just do a lot better than that. Then SK the King, I would say he sucked, but I need to say some adjectives to describe Goose, by the way. That's like a line of staying on beat, and this nigga was doing the high beam balancing act across it. Now, I don't know who idea it was to put Goose, by the way, on there. Man, when you finna get in the studio with it, man, I can't rap. Man, what you be saying? Get out my way, just say that. Overall, man, it had potential, but it just lost steam at the end. Cocaine Paste, fire. Metallic Files, fire. Conway and Jae Skeese had solid performances at parts, but then when they started focus on their messaging and content, everything that makes them special as rappers kind of took a back seat. And that's not even saying anything against having a positive message. It's just when Conway is rapping about getting shot or street life, is that imagery or thought-provoking bars or that grimy punchline that really makes it who he is. If he gonna spit that Think and Grow Rich Cocaine edition, he just got to take that same level of imagery and vividness and storytelling that he has when he's talking about that street talk and apply it to that, and he ain't really do it here. Jae Skeese, he tried to play in that lane too, and when he was punching, he was on it, but when he wasn't punching, the verses weren't as good. I think this project would have been a little bit better. They would have picked better production. Production wasn't even that bad. It was just too many all right tracks, instrumental wise, back to back to back, so the overall listening experience just felt monotone and stale. Overall, it's an okay project. It got its highlights, but it's not the funnest project to listen to. Like seeing Conway try to jump in another bag. I just want the execution to be a little bit better, but hopefully this ain't the last time we hear a collab from these two.